Hi, I'm Lucky, and I'm feeling lucky.
Hey, I'm George Busico, and I'm feeling lucky.
Let's go. Let's talk about this. What is the luckiest thing that ever happened to you, J Flow?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot. Coming here into the United States.
Tell me more, because where do you
Yeah,
come from? You're from Haiti, right? If I'm not mistaken.
yeah. I'm originally from Haiti. I was born in Haiti, and I grew up in Haiti for about 12, 13 years. And I came here in 2007, and I was when I was in fifth grade. So I had to repeat the fifth grade when I came to the U.S. because I didn't speak English. I didn't also go to any English classes. I was self-taught by reading books and translating French to English, and just listening to people talk. So it took me quite a while to learn the English language because I just didn't go to any English class to actually learn English. I was
Wow.
just thrown in the pit. My whole life is just throw him in the pit and let him figure it out.
Wow, are you serious? So tell me, because what was it like going from that to then becoming one of the biggest videographers in the world, working with people like Andrew Tate, working with people like, Fresh and Fit? Tell me what it was like with Haiti, right? You're talking about like literally, do you feel like it was the bottom of the bottom for you growing up from there to where it's at right now? Because obviously, Haiti, there's parts of it that are beautiful, but there's also parts where you're like, please don't go to that side. Like that's not where I should go
Yeah,
hang
yeah,
out right now.
yeah,
But tell me what it was like.
yeah. Okay, so I should never get to share that side.
Please, I
Um,
want to hear it.
it's actually without that side, I probably wouldn't be here.
Really, it's
Like
like
without
that.
that side, yeah, I wouldn't get there without that side. Like that side is what made me. And when I say this, because I didn't know none of these things existed. So growing up there, it's like there's no social media. The only exposure I have in terms of anything that's like in the United States and things like that. My very first rapper I ever got introduced to was 50 Cent. I didn't know Tupac. I didn't
Wow.
know Michael Jackson. That's all I saw on TV. And grew up in soccer. Matter of fact, even for people who are from Brazil, might like this. Majority of the time, we will get electricity in Haiti. It's either when Brazil is playing, there's a Brazil game playing, or there's an Argentina is playing. So that took a big effect because you know, lights don't come on unless something is actually happening. Now,
Wow.
I didn't grow up what you would say poor. I grew up like middle class of Haiti,
Okay.
and but the problem wasn't like the trauma that I faced in Haiti was more external.
Hmm.
So it was basically just family against the world, kidnapping, and people don't take kidnapping serious until it happens to somebody that's close to you. So
So
I've
you
had a lot of
experienced
people
that?
close to
You
me.
like what?
Not personally, I close people close to me. I got close to experiencing that. I lost, let me see, about 25 plus friends due to a kidnapping that happened from the bus that I take every day. They kidnapped all the kids that was on the bus. We came out. What saved me was a friend after I had my first communion. I was supposed to go to violin class and I ended up not going because one of my friends just made a joke and said, "You just have your first communion. You're gonna lie to your mom when you get home and tell her that you took violin lesson." So I said, "You know what? Fine, let's go. Let's go take it. Let's go to the violin lesson." And when we got out, there was parents crying. Um, the bus was gone. I mean, actually, no, I'm sorry. The bus was still there, and never heard from those kids ever since. And it was literally the last time. It was right before I came to the U.S. And normally, when things happen in Haiti, it's so normal. It's so normal that you don't really report to your parents or anything like that. So people only find out if they're here somewhere. Kids and things like that. Even now to this day, you see it. Like I had a breakdown one time in front of my wife because I saw there was a situation, and what broke me down was the kids, because it literally reminded me of me. There was a shootout that was happening in the middle of school, and we dealt with that as well. And there's school shootouts, police versus thieves. Bullets just flying everywhere. We down on the ground, just waiting for things to calm down. And I saw those kids online, and those kids didn't even look scared. Some of them were laughing on the floor, this and this, like. And at some point, I used to think that was normal.
Hmm.
And then when I came here, it was so different that I don't really think I've experienced any rock bottom here. I got into eviction. My car got repoed. It felt like nothing. But without
Wow.
without that experience growing up there, a lot of stuff would probably break me. So I never felt depression. I never felt I don't know what depression feels like. I found out something called this fight or flight. I didn't know about something called fight or flight. Someone was explaining to me, it's like, you have fight or flight. I'm like, what is that? And it's like, fight or flight is when you kind of like, you just go. And, in a way, I was like, that's not bad. But, in a way, it was like, good. I'm like, okay, fight or flight is actually good, because when you hear, when I came to America, what shook me was because I didn't understand depression, so it was hard for me to relate to a lot of people because I guess I didn't have like that sympathy or like that feeling of understanding of where they're coming from. Because I've lived with people that was depressed from my point of view. Whenever someone told me they were depressed, and I've lived with people like this, and they sleep all day. And then when I wake them up, it's like, hey, wake up, we gotta get to work, we gotta do this. And they're like, man, I'm depressed, just let me sleep. And then that's when I didn't want to define it that, but that's what I saw from people. They said depressed. It's either they sleep all day or they're not fixed the problem, they stay put and they just stay in that hole. And, I've lost friends like that as well because of not understanding that concept. It's just something I've never really experienced. Always been on go.
Always been on go. And sometimes you have to. I mean, people that are depressed sometimes are just like, is it deep rest that they're trying to get? Is it like, deep rest? Are they trying to get some deep rest? Are they trying to find themselves? Or maybe they haven't found a purpose? Or you always wonder like what that is because it's some countries, it's normal, right? Like some countries, they're like, yeah, this is something that we deal with. If I go to like Morocco and something, they're like, hey, we don't even know what depression is. Like if you go to some other countries, they don't know what that even looks like you're trying to say right now. So it is such a duality. You come from somewhere like Haiti where you're watching kids get, like literally kidnapped, which I never even heard of. That's mind-boggling to think about that. You missed that. So my question is, do you believe in luck? Or do you believe we create it? Like
I believe in God, and I think with that belief also comes with a lot of luck, because every 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 luck I've ever gained came from hard work. Billionaire I've ever met, millionaire I've ever met, you meaning you was through luck, was through hard work. Getting to reach Mike, I would have never met you if I wasn't working hard and doing door-to-door sales to get ramen. I would have never met a billionaire like Michael Fuchs and being business partners with him. So all these things, it came from luck.
Wow.
It's a lot of hard work. I say luck because luck is like, it's like things you didn't expect happening. For example, you give me 10,000 out of nowhere off of a baby
I
shower.
almost forgot about that, but
And
thank you. I appreciate that for
yeah,
saying that.
off of-
I had to give you
and
10,000 because
that was
your work was just amazing. You said nothing. Okay, come over. I'm doing my baby shower. But I was like, I gave you more than whatever that was just because it was like, bro, I
yeah,
see something in flow.
yeah,
You were flowing through life, man. You were flowing through life.
yeah,
You were at maybe the lowest point in your life, but I was like, there's something in this guy. I just see where you can go. And boom, fast forward, all your dreams, man, that you've been able to do, all the
yeah,
content that you've been able to do. I'm feeling lucky just talking to you. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
Let's
Everything
go.
I've said so far, I've actually done.
So
Except,
beautiful.
there's other stuff, but for the most part, everything I said I was gonna do like years ago, um, it just took me time to get there, but I
Well,
actually ended up accomplishing
let me
it.
ask you this question. If you lost everything today, what would be the first three moves that J Flow would move on and do tomorrow? If you lost everything today, what would be the first three moves tomorrow?
Actually, I lost everything in 2022, and I gained it and then lost it in 2022. And the first thing I did, it will be a repeat of that. The first thing I did was go back on the whiteboard. I started writing everybody's name that I knew, and I was just trying to bring value. I wasn't even selling anything. I was
Being of
bringing
service,
value,
right? Yeah, value,
bringing a
service.
service. Yeah, bringing a service to as much people as I could possibly can, and rebuild. And then the second move that I did was expand, right? And utilize my resources, because though I lost material things, but I didn't never lost my resources, and my resources is far more important. Most people might not see this or say this themselves, but I believe that it doesn't matter what business you have or how much billion-dollar business you have. I think the people and the resources you have is far more important than anything in this world, because people help people. Like, even if you were to say like you made this on your own, that's not true, because if you have a business, it takes one person to give you a chance to get that thing going. The first transaction, that's somebody helping you. You know what I'm saying? So people don't look at it like this. It's people that helps people. And that's like the way more important. Relationship is currency way more than money is. The biggest currency in the world. Like, without each other, we won't make it. You can't go anywhere without people. You know, it's literally.
And that third thing. So the first, the second, and the third thing.
Uh-huh.
What would be the
First,
third you
second,
think?
third thing. No, first thing is actually go to God first.
Okay, I
So
like
that's
that. So you take that one, put it in the front.
Yeah.
Front. I like that.
Yeah, put it in the front.
If you lose,
Yeah,
if you
go
lose
to
it
God
all, like, hey, talk to God first, as
Yeah.
God has a better plan for you. Is that what I'm hearing?
first. Yeah.
I like
And then
that.
not just when you lose it, though, just even when you have it, sometimes we fall off. But, you know, whatever you believe in, really, people have different beliefs, but mine is God. Like, go to.
Wow. And
Because
then
once you go to
what's
that person, put it in front of them. Everything's
awesome.
gonna come.
It's awesome. What's something about money or success nobody warned you about? What's something about money or success that nobody warned you about?
Go through the world too fast. It came to a point I wanted to rush my process, even though I built everything horizontal. And I got to a point where I got around people, like, because you get so inspired. You're seeing things you've never seen before, experiencing things you've never experienced before. So what it does mentally to your process, you're like, damn, I want to get there as soon as possible.
Rushing
then-
it, right?
You try to rush every single thing, you know what I'm saying? So then it kind of like, I didn't know that part. It's kind of like, okay, boom. We'll shot somebody that said, yo, you're gonna get there.
Wow.
Slow down a little bit. And because slowing down doesn't mean not proximate, but slow down means slow down, analyze everything you have, and then, you know, take it as you go.
Yeah.
Once you're trying to like shoot it, because they were chasing the materials. They were chasing it.
Wow. And was there a
So
moment?
it's like for you too. I see that as well.
Sheesh,
I
you
see
telling
that through
me.
you as well. Through everyone I've met, except for you especially. When I first met you, you were buying, I don't know if that was your first watch, but you were buying I think it was a Patek.
In
it
an
was a
Audemars.
Patek.
Yep, AP in a
Yeah.
5711 Patek
First time.
Bouguettes.
Yeah, exactly. At the time,
Sure.
I didn't know anything about watches. I didn't know anything about any of these stuff. Matter of fact, when you put the watch on my wrist, I didn't even know what the value was or what it meant. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, afterwards, once you start to grasp this concept, you see why people, like, even to your background and story, it's not because you were trying to get the watch. It's not because, yeah, you wanted it. You wanted the car. You wanted this. But that wasn't what drove you there. So I'm saying, I feel like what drove you there was I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, was the purpose behind it was like to serve. You're serving somebody. I feel like, I don't know the
100%
I don't understand
right.
crypto, but I feel like when you're doing crypto, I understand anyone who's successful, they're serving someone.
You want
At
to know what
least-
it is they're trophies to ourselves, right? The fancy cars, the McLarens, the Ferraris,
Yeah.
the Rolls Royces, the fancy watches, the Pateks, the RMs, the Rolexes, the APs. I just spoke with Uncle Audemars, and you know, all these things is, if you think about it, I think what I was doing of service was, there was no better feeling than somebody coming up to you and being inspired. A little kid, I remember when I was a little kid, I would read these DuPont magazines. I'd be like, I'm gonna get this, one day I'm gonna get a Ferrari, one day I'm gonna get, you know, this Rolls Royce, one day I'm gonna get this Bentley, like whatever it may be. When you get this stuff, it's not for me, it's for the people out there in the world, to show them what's possible. That kid in me, when they get to sit in that supercar, when I got to open up the door to the McLaren and see a kid get inspired, just, can I take a photo? I want that. And I think for you, for example, let's go to your content. You're a content creator. There's probably no better feeling than to see your work out there inspire the next generation of winners. Does that make sense? Like, I want people to feel lucky. That's what I'm feeling lucky is about. Like, I was thinking I want to build, you know, this multi-billion-dollar company and all this stuff, and maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't happen, but I know it's going to happen because I'm feeling lucky, right? And I wasn't going to wait for luck. I became it. I'm lucky. And I want people out there to believe in that. And I'm creating this I'm feeling lucky billion-dollar movement. I want people around the world to believe the mentality, the mantra that they feel lucky. And that's what it is with the stuff that you put out, your content. it makes people feel lucky. It makes them feel like, wow, I'm one shot away. I could be just like Andrew Tate. I'm one video away. This video right here, this could make me feel lucky. You're one move
Yeah.
away. So yeah,
You know, you know what? Actually, that's funny you said that, because what actually changed the game for me, because I was a photographer at first, and then I transitioned to videos. I never wanted to get into video, and then I said, you know what? Finally, I'm gonna get there, right? But the thing is, what I'm best at is not even something that's I would consider a skill, because I didn't really. You could call it a skill, but to me, I feel like it's more of a gift. Especially if I'm like struggling, have a language barrier, all these things. I'm great with relationship building. That happens naturally.
that's so you, dude. Like you know everybody. Just like me, like I love to. I'm a friend collector. You know everybody. Like, how did he get in that room? How did Flo just flow in there? He always figures out ways. Keep going.
So when I realized I didn't know that was a superpower. I didn't know that was it. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was like the key factor. And I was already good with people. And I said that if I'm sitting with Kyle and I want to grow Kyle's personal brand, it's not something I have to really work hard for, because it's natural for me to like just build with people. You know what I'm saying? So like I have solid people in my life until probably once in my life I've had bad influence, right? But throughout my whole lifetime, I grew up on loyalty. I grew up on like community, and even when I worked a job, I grew up on community. People that was around me was those relationship building that helped us, all of us, get to the other. I got here because of relationship building. My parents are the core of that.
Okay.
That's how I got here, because they didn't come to the U.S. with me when they stayed back. The person that took care of me was my auntie. So when you have those connections, and I saw, okay, how could I convert that? And mind you, this is not a strategy I came up with. It just happened. It's like, okay, I'm thinking about it. I was like, okay, how could I convert that to business? Personal brand, right? I know what Kyle likes. I know what Fresh likes. I know what Eric Spofford likes. I know what this person likes. I know what kind of music he likes. I know what kind of vibe he likes. I know where he's from. I know what's gonna click for him. I know what's gonna click for this person. It's kind of like when you get to know people, it's easy to come up with concept that's gonna relate to them and then relate to the audience, because only the people that relate to them is gonna relate to that person. And so that's when it became easy. Even with Mike is the best example, because Mike was probably the first person
RM plug
to
selling.
like,
Yep.
RM plug.
Selling watches.
I gotta give a lot of credit to Mike, but I also gotta give a lot of credit to Fresh, from Fresh and Fit as well, because if not for Fresh, I wouldn't meet Mike. And when I met Mike, like when I tell you, it takes one person. That's when I learned. See, that's the thing I didn't know.
The lucky one.
I didn't know that it takes. Yeah, I didn't know that it takes one person to believe in you for you to go. It takes one person to like. I'm gonna believe. I'm not talking about like believe in you and it's got no. They believe in you so much that they literally take you under their wings, and that they're like, yo, this is Kyle. Yo, this is Jose Penn. This is Kevin. This and this.
This is lucky.
Next thing you know,
Let's go.
all of these people, just off of one club transaction. Mike is like behind my ears. Like I'm sitting here, Mike is literally like the angel right here. And it's like, this is this person, this is this person, this is this person. Boom, boom, boom. You need to go to talk to him. Go talk to him. Go talk to him. And he's telling me all these things, but I'm not used to that. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm shaking different hands, and then I'm building relationships, and then I'm learning about watches while I'm with him. And he brought so much value into my life in terms of like learning how to do business. I was not a businessman. I was just good at building relationships. I'm not someone who say like, I'm not someone who say I practice sales or good at sales. I don't really try to sell anybody on anything. It's just I tell you how I can help you. And if that fits you, it fits you.
That's awesome.
You know, if that's something you
awesome.
want, that's what it is.
And lucky mindset for you.
Yeah.
What is this mindset questions that we're gonna have here? What's like your daily non-negotiable habit? Something that you have a habit of doing that's a non-negotiable, you just have to do it.
I just have to do it. Work.
Okay. That's it. You just
Work.
get up and you're like, it's go time.
Now it's different, because after I met my wife, she's a trainer, and she's kind of like really made my health a priority. So it was like a big shift, because you're talking with somebody, I could go 78 hours no sleep and still have high energy. And I've done this multiple times. This is like normal to me, because I'm a workaholic. My father's a workaholic. My brother's a workaholic. All different ways. Like my brother got like I don't know, 6 masters. He's just not an entrepreneur. He would do good in an entrepreneur, but it's just different. You know, we're all different in our way, but we all alcoholic. I mean, workaholics.
Wow.
That's definitely my non-negotiable. So now my health, I'm trying. It's not there yet, but I'm forcing it to be. I'm forcing it to be because even when if I'm doing something else that's not work,
Wow. Wow.
it's hard for me to step out of.
That's so true. Well, hey,
And
this is my
yeah.
this is completely like you can answer this if you want to, but what would you teach if you were gonna be like seeing your like I said, your brother has like 5 masters, right? Well, then what would J Flow teach in a 5-minute master class on wealth? Because you've learned now this other space of entrepreneurship, business, investing. You know, what would J Flow teach in a 5-minute master class on wealth?
In my field,
Yeah, and you can do
in
your
my
field.
field,
Yeah,
I would definitely say not putting value on gear, phone, camera,
oh, mindset,
because
the lucky mindset. That's the wealth.
yeah,
Woo!
yeah,
Let's go.
literally, literally without it, that's everything. That's how you get paid your worth. That's how you get. And I see it all the time with creatives. They put so much value into like they buy 6,000 camera. It's never works. Never works because here is right. You know, it's all in here. Because if you value yourself enough, that will project to other people naturally. Naturally,
Become it, man. I'm telling you. I always say, be the one.
you have
Be
to
the one. Be
become.
the lucky
Yeah,
one. Get it done, man.
yeah. That's the best way.
Yes.
You have to become.
You gotta become it. Yeah, it's so true. Become wealth.
Yeah.
You are wealth. I mean, I'm feeling lucky. I'm feeling wealthy. I'm feeling abundant. I'm feeling happy today. And I hope that you are too. You can. And one thing I was
I
gonna
am.
ask is like, I am exactly. What's a toxic belief about success you had to unlearn? What's a toxic belief about success you had to unlearn? What's a toxic belief about success you had to unlearn?
That it takes 10 to 20 years to get it. That's what expedited my growth. I'll give you an example in terms of my business. That's the best way I can relate it to. 2019, this is after I got fired from working as a busser. And then I got into a car accident. And then it was like I was working jobs. Even Uber kicked me out. And it was just like me in that face. And I remember, I'm like, damn, how long is it going to take me to blow this thing up? Because I didn't see that. This was not a vision. Like, meeting those amazing people was not in my mission. Matter of fact, I didn't even care about making $1 million at that point. I was just trying to make 5,000. And when I went for it, she got there, and I was like, damn, it only takes you longer if you like either procrastinate or don't look for answers or don't look for information or stop learning and focusing on the wrong things. And I realized what the problem was because in the bottom you're competing, right? So when I look at it, I say, okay, what is it that we're doing what is it that people aren't doing that I should do? And at the time, the flaw that I noticed was creatives when I was coming up was moving super slow in terms of like with clientele and stuff. Because you could find great this, and I was like the bottom. I was still in my learning process. Guys was like, some of these guys, they were dropping crazy content. I didn't even learn yet, but my sauce was speed. And when I was doing those next day deliveries, I met PJ Kev. Next day he has it. I met this person. Next day he already has it. So I'm like overnight working, boom, 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 pushing. And then next thing you know, in 6 months, pow, everything blows up. I mean, so many people. I was like, whoa. And then when I realized that, I freaking took a board. I was watching YouTube. I said, who do I want to meet? I had Millionaire on the board, Q-Banks on the board. These are people that I saw on Instagram, never met. And I said, I'm not going to meet those people. This is the one that strategized. I was like, I'm going to fight with them. I helped these guys not even knowing I was going to help them. Through connecting this person to this person. Next thing you know, TJ is finding these guys out at Los Angeles. They had a drive out, this and this, and then Fresh. I brought TJ to Fresh's podcast, and then Fresh knew I wanted to meet Q-Banks, and Fresh called me. I was like, yo, Q-Banks gonna be here. This and this, and I went over there, boom, and then what? I didn't hesitate. It was like the moment the opportunity was there, took it in. So then what I thought may have taken me naturally to unlearn it, the toxic part is like, yo, it's gonna take 5 years. Ah, it took me 7 months to build all these connections. Actually, less than 7 months to build all these connections. And I've been in the business for 10 years. My first 5 years, I didn't understand. I actually had the belief that it was gonna take me a long time. But then I realized it was like control of everything. You're in control of everything. And then I see Fresh and Fit blow up in one. I was in the process. I said, the whole process. Fresh is the first millionaire I've ever seen. I work with, even help build his personal brand and everything. First millionaire I've ever seen close to me. Fresh was broke. No, I'm not gonna say broke. He was working at Wix. He was an employee at Wix when I first met him. I don't know what he was going through at that time, but to see how it is, he did it in that same amount, and then we both applied the same thing, which is speed. Then, so that's what I had to learn, is that it doesn't actually take a long time to get to where you're trying to get to. Not, at least not the amount of time you think it is in your head.
For sure, because you're condensing like the time frame because of all that stuff, those connections. I get it. And it's always say sometimes like find a mentor. You know, like now people are watching in, like they're like, why would you even get a mentor? Well, the reality is this person went through, it's same thing buying a book. Like buying a book from somebody who's lived the life, condensed it down for you to read it, is literally cutting your learning curve in half. Like, so why not? So yes, you're right.
100%.
It's the speed, like success. What's that one thing? Success loves speed. All right. Like that's really what it is. But let's go to like deep dive questions here too. What's something true about you that you never post online?
Never post online.
Yeah. Like, so what's something that's true about you that you never really post online?
People have helped.
Yeah. Yeah. Most people
have helped, impacted. Things I've done for people. You'll never hear something I've done for people.
Yeah.
Unless either the person mentions it or I don't count favors.
Well, I'll definitely mention that you're a wonderful human being, and you've done favors for me that I could only, I'll say it on camera. I'll let you know, like this JFlow is the real deal. And when he says, you know, he flows with it, he flows through life to help people out. And he's helped me out personally too, vice versa. It's a give. What you give is what you receive. And since we gave and gave to each other, it's like, of course we're going to receive to one another. So I appreciate you as well, man. And if I followed you around, right, with the camera for 30 days, JFlow, what would surprise people the most?
Number one, my work ethic.
Yeah.
My work ethic is never.
You're always, bro. I've never seen a person just, shoo. Hey, man, I'm over here. Hey, I'm over here. I'm like, well, how do you do that in one day? How is he doing? You ever see Donald Trump on airplanes going from this place to that place to this place to that place? And you're just like, how is this old guy doing it? Come to find out he's eating chicken McNuggets, and his regimen is the most mind-boggling thing I've ever seen. But he does it so quick. You have that work ethic, man. I have to give you credit for that.
Yeah, thank you. You know what's crazy? I got there. You know, okay, my business requires for me, it's essential.
Very true.
A car is essential for my business. 2019, I got into a car accident. I've moved. Let me tell you something, man. If I had to take the bus, I'm gonna take.
Right.
If I had to, since I was taking the bus places, I was trying to be, man, I did it without a car. So imagine when I finally bought my next car, I'm being missed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
most people wouldn't do that, man.
Yeah.
They don't do what you do, man. I'm telling you, man. Like, they don't. They don't want to do that. They don't want that work ethic. Why is that? What makes you you like that? Where you're just like, I will do whatever it takes. Where did that wire, like, what breakthrough, what lucky breakthrough happened where you just have to always go?
Oh, growing up in Haiti, I already had that. I already had my lessons since I was a kid. I was already trained mentally to, like, deal with any sort of trauma. For example, I got into it's funny. I got robbed 3 times. All those 3 times I said, you know what, let's go have some pizza and then get to it. Boom. I remember when I got into the car repossession, my friend was like, yo, are you even mad about it? This and that. I said, let's go get it. I owed $6,000 in the car. I got the car back in 3 days. Make $6,000 in less than 3 days. I had a friend that was coming from New York. He got stuck. That $6,000 I took $750 and sent it to him. And then made another $750 and got the car back. And that was also the friend that was also going to depression. Like his form of depression was just trying to sleep. But it was good that he was around me because I was able to like make him see what happens and how I deal with problems. Because guess what? This is how problem comes. Something happens, boom, it smacks you in the face, and you're like, right when you turn around, another one smacks you in the other cheek. Then what happens to most people, from what I ask to people, is like they're waiting for the foot to step on their neck. Like they're used to both getting both ways. So now they're just waiting on the next hit. So they're like, let me just sleep it off. Then the problems start compounding. And then when they try to go fix it right, it's not easy because it's gonna push you back down again. You know what, let me just sleep it off. That's the most comfortable thing you could do is avoid the problem. The most comfortable thing you could do is avoid the problem. So when you start putting yourself in uncomfortable situation, success only happens when you're in uncomfortable situations. The only reason I got to where I'm at was I got kicked out of doing Uber. I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. So it was just left, it was just me and my business left. I had bills to pay and things like that. And I just chose to attack. It was a very uncomfortable position. I did what I had to do. But it was because of that uncomfortable situation.
Wow, wow. You're like, there's so many like just breakthroughs that I'm even having, and I appreciate this, man. This is great stuff. I'm telling you. Like, I always tell people this, and I always ask, is if you could speak to the 18-year-old version of you, right, just for 60 seconds, what would you say?
It's not just hard work. It's not just hard work. If you already have a working hard mentality, you just need to figure out how to work smarter. And if you're able to figure out how to work smarter first, before the hard work, you realize you didn't need to work this hard for that. You could have done this, and this.
Smarter.
When you have a hard work mentality, you go without thinking. You know what I'm saying? Hard workers go without thinking. It's because you program like this. Because you remember, like most people program not to think for themselves. Even though I was trained to think for myself, but most people, I want jobs they think for you. Technically, if you really think about it. That's why you got to go through training and train to do something over and over and over and over and over. Step outside that box. And you're gonna work hard. Everyone works hard. You got construction. I could never compare my work ethic compared to a construction worker. I will never compare my work ethic compared to someone that's doing plumbing. People in Haiti that are fucking carrying shit in their bags just to like make their next meal. I can never compare that hard work doing it. But when you start thinking and then you already have that in you, the action becomes easy. Like, a prime example. Me and you, most people don't know this. Me and you made $25,000 in one day. Actually, not even one day. Fuck that.
Yeah,
in 1 hour.
It was 1 hour. Yeah.
We made $25K in 1 hour. This is from just me and you sitting down. We just spoke about something. You want to make money? Yeah,
It's like, you want to make money?
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
You want to make money? Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go.
Let's just go to that real quick.
I got your phone. And we made $25,000 in 1 hour.
1 hour. It could have been. It was 1 hour just because we didn't know how to use the software. It was 45
1
minutes.
hour just because we didn't know
because
how,
we're
exactly.
like, wait, you have to have longer than 45 minutes? How do I put in this debit card to put in?
Yeah.
People are making fun of us on there, but still
45 minutes.
Yeah.
The rest of it was just trying to figure out how to use Zoom.
It's so true. You're bringing up such good points, and I'm glad because it's like you just gotta take the action. And there is this feeling of paralyzation, and I've been there. And I hope that you right now are listening to this, if you just as you, where you could go 6 months to a year plus in this feeling of like you're paralyzed in your mind and you can't take this action, all this stuff. But once you just take that action, like Flo was saying, you just take one step and then another one and then another one. You start to realize it wasn't that hard. You start to realize that, your neck wasn't going to get, hit down and punched in the face a couple more times, because you have to essentially get up like Rocky and just win. But what are you working on now, right now?
Can I add something?
Yep.
It's also, number one, who you're listening to, and two, who do you have around? Because my wife was telling me this the other day, and she tells me she looks up to me every day. And she told me something that was like super inspiring, but it wasn't about me. It's kind of like, realize it or see it, or because some of us are super humble, and our humble is because we're so humble. Sometimes you could be so humble, you start to suppress yourself. You know what I'm saying? So like naturally happens. And she was saying, she said, because she said the same thing about you, is not even knowing you. That's the crazy thing. That's the craziest thing. She
Appreciate
said,
that.
she
Appreciate
said,
her.
baby, he said, she said, baby, you're so powerful. That's like who you listen to, right? Like what you're listening to. What are people telling you? That's number one. And who's taking action? And then when she said it, this was before you and I linked up.
Mm.
And then she said it, she said, yeah, but she said, but you have to move with people in that same frequency as you. You know, I'll say this on camera as well. It's kind of like, I don't think anybody would say this. Ever since I got around you, take anything else, it don't matter. But ever since I got around you and spoken, you don't have to say it. It like,
Wow.
it just happens. So it's kind of like moving together. Like you can take one powerful person and then you have someone who doesn't move in that same frequency. What happens is the growth is like this. But then you put that into perspective, what we did, two powerful people get together and fucking exploded. And then the result to that, that's how we made $25,000 in less than 45 minutes. So it's like who you're listening to and who you're moving with are very important. And this has nothing to do with money. That's a crazy thing. It has nothing to do with money. Because if we put in perspective, we didn't even invest into anything to make that.
It was
Maybe
it
like
was it was
$15.
mine.
$15 for Zoom.
It was just
$15 for Zoom.
that was it. It was idea. And that means that our ideas are just money. Does it make sense? Like an
Yeah.
idea, money is just an idea.
100%.
Think about that. No, you're like literally wow. Let me ask you this question: do you feel lucky right now? Like you feel
Every
lucky
time
to
I'm
be in?
talking to you, I feel like.
Oh, bro, love, appreciate that, man.
Every time I talk to you, I feel like. Every time I talk to my wife, I feel lucky. Every time I talk to people that moves on the same frequency as me, I feel lucky. It's gonna happen.
It's already done, baby. It's so true.
You
Well, let
can
me
tell
ask you
me.
this question
You can tell me.
too.
Yeah. Go
What are
ahead.
you working on now that's bigger than you?
Oh, that's it's funny. I just bought. Back then, I used to buy things for myself.
Huh?
Now I'm buying things for my creatives. So I
Wow.
just bought this. So one of my
And
creatives,
and, and he
has
doesn't. This person doesn't even know it's about to happen. Like you're about
right.
to. Like you're
I
just gonna
just told him.
bless this person with like he's gonna be stoked out of his mind right now. Is what you're saying, or he
Yeah,
or she, whoever
yeah.
this creative is.
He,
Wow, you're
yeah.
what?
You see him all the time. He's always on my page.
Oh, I'm feeling
He's the
lucky
guy.
just to be a part of this right
Yeah.
now. This is so cool.
And he had a gimbal, but his gimbal started giving him problems. This one, so he could use and also make more money, because he makes money with me.
Yeah, yeah.
And what's bigger than me, that's what's bigger than me, is I'm building out. I'm okay. So the best way to explain this, I'm building an Uber. Think of Uber, but for creatives. So I have 50 creatives down here in Miami, contractors, and all trained. They all know what they're doing, and basically building that big of a thing. Because what that does, I'm serving more client, and I'm also getting creators paid. But it's like I have the relationship with you
That's so beautiful,
because of
man.
what happens. Because the how I came up with this idea was because in 2021 I was serving so many people by myself that most people thought it was impossible. I served so many people in 1 year on
I
my
don't know
own.
how you did it,
I
man.
was serving Q banks. I was serving Q banks. I was serving you at times. I was serving R Unplugged. I was serving Entertain, Fresh and Fit. I was serving so many people, even people that weren't even famous. But at the same time, majority of my time, I'm never home. Or sometimes I don't even get home till 3 a.m. and then I'm back on the road. That was back in 2021. But when I started seeing that, it gets to a point where I wasn't thinking that. I said, damn, how do I serve all my clients? Because it's only one of me, right? But then I had to analyze. I don't sell videography. I don't sell photography. I sell an experience and a mission and the results. That's what I really sell. The camera aspect is just the tools. But if I could teach somebody that tool, like Rudolph, the guy I'm giving this to, I trained him. I've been training him
Yes.
for a year straight.
Shout out,
So he
shout out to
does all of
Rudolph,
my part.
man. Shout
Yeah.
out to Rudolph. That's
Rudolph
awesome.
does majority of my clients' work. And I have 50 more, and I have 49 more guys left, right? So it's like, man, my goal is until Rudolph is like fully sustainable, which is how I'm measuring my success. Because if Rudolph winning, I'm winning. But it's like the feeling is that, oh shit, I'm impacting that. It's kind
I
of like
love
that's why
it.
you don't see any other creatives. It's like until and it's growing, and until that water is filled up, boom, then expand to New York, expand to Los Angeles, expand to Vegas, and everything is online. So that's like the biggest thing, and then the second thing is the webinars that I'm doing for the creatives. Is also teaching them how to work their own business because I know creatives. I know creatives because I'm a creative, and most creatives don't like to be tied down. And that's what most people don't understand is, let's say you was to work with a creative. Though you have lucky ones, right? You have lucky ones like FX Alex, maybe Q Banks, and a photographer. Um, Andrew Tate was, those guys are big already, right?
Hmm.
So it's different. So it's like, boom, here I'm paying you this much and this much. It's already on a higher scale. But let's talk about the rest of the people, right? That don't get lucky like that, right? If that guy needs a photographer, a videographer, what's gonna happen is gonna try to get somebody full time. Now,
Mm.
if that photographer is with this person, because it's not a relationship, it's just a business transaction. The moment the photographer or the videographer gets a bigger job, they're just gonna go to that bigger job. But then what happens to the client? They don't grow. The client now, whatever he was doing, now he got to find somebody else and then build that relationship all over again and train that person all over again. So now with the concept that I'm bringing here, it's like me and you have an amazing relationship,
Yep.
right? And it's a relationship that will never die. But let's say you somewhere all the way over there, and then you say, Jay, I need a creative to come through. This is what we're doing. And I understand the concept. Boom. I got somebody. Even if it was a retainer, I have someone. They go to you. They already trained on what you like because I'm just transferring data. Now let's say that guy happens to find a bigger job and decides to go somewhere else. That's fine because my relationship with the dude is just swapped out.
Yep. Yep.
So now it becomes a win. It becomes a win-win for both people because now the creative is able to like grow his own brand while doing this thing, and he doesn't feel like he's just building somebody else's business, just building somebody else's stuff. And he's like he feels like he's also building his own self. Like for example, Rudolph is in my team, but Rudolph is also building with. So it's not like if Rudolph wanted to just separate from me, he'll be fine because of the things we've done, the thing I
Hmm.
trained him to do, the the credibility, this and that. So it kind of like it opens that door for him.
Yep.
So compared to being up suppressed, because what happens is sometimes when relationship break, one person, if two people decide to do something together and they all focus on that one thing, the moment that relationship breaks, one person loses more than the other. This always happens. It doesn't go like both people lose, unless they stick together and they fall together. But if one separates, one gains and the other one loses more. And the one that always loses is the one that always puts me. See what I'm saying? So it became so that's how I really thought this through. Like this was I took a lot of deep thinking because it's
Wow,
like how
it's
do you
very
blend
deep. It's very deep because
everyone in a
you said
relationship?
that, like the whole
Yeah.
thing of like when the relationship breaks, one person, what, they lose more than the other
What?
person. Makes so much
Yeah.
sense.
Always. It always like that. It's always one person will always lose than the other. So it's like the same thing. It's like if Rudolph decides to separate, he doesn't lose anything and I don't lose anything.
Because the ecosystem
So
you're
I'm saying
creating, I think that's very, very
the
intelligent, man.
ecosystem.
Let me ask you another question. How do you, J Flow, want to be remembered?
The way I treat people. The way I treat people. Like loyalty. Like I mean, you know this better than actually you know this because you've seen it.
Hmm.
Now I'm not even talking about with me and you. Like I'll fight for you even if I'll fight for you. Even if it doesn't benefit me or puts me in a bad position.
I know for a
So it's
fact.
like if I feel like yeah, so if I this is like so personal, it's if I like a situation where I put my reputation on the line to protect and defend somebody that I believe was a brother. And I was willing to kick anybody out who was going against that person. That's how loyalty is for me.
Yes. Even if
Like if
even if it might be wrong in the end, you don't know why it was wrong in the end,
I
but
don't know
you
why,
still fought for that person
I still
in the
fought.
be. I
Yeah.
dude, you have to put the utmost respect for like that, and again, someone like yourself to do that, because like there's people out there that are artists, that are in gangs, that are in families that won't even fight for the person that's in their own family. Like they're more okay with being what's right or people pleasing and being on somebody else's side that wouldn't even do anything when things got tough. But for you, loyalty is everything. And
it goes further because I'm not turning down just anybody. I'm turning down multi-million-dollar people. I'm talking about people that could literally change your life.
money wise too.
On Lord's money wise. So it's like money doesn't move me. People move me. And this has been proven over and over and over again. If like, it's hard to say. I hate talking about it, but you know, but it's like you'll see it through action.
Absolutely. What's your last thing I'm trying to say is what's your definition of freedom? And do you feel free today?
I felt free since 2019. I felt free since 2019. Now, I believe there's like different levels of freedom. My first phase of freedom was definitely creating this business and just being free to do whatever I want. All right. Now then there's the second phase is financial freedom. Now that's the freedom to buy whatever you want, right? There's third phase. That third phase is like that's when you're really tested on who you really are. The power to do whatever you want. So those are the three phases. I'm halfway on two.
I got you. So we'll get you there. I'm sending great luck and vibrations your way. I know we're ending this call now because we're getting towards the end. I know you're busy. Just to get you on the call, look at you. You're like on to the next meeting. I can already tell what you're about to do. But for you to give us this 1 hour of your time, JFLOW, we appreciate you. We want you to become even more lucky in your life, in your business, in your relationship. And I'm sending that lucky energy your way so you can just know it's there. So everything from this moment on, when your life starts to get better, just know that lucky was here for you. And everybody watching this, share this if you care. Just know that I'm lucky and so are you. I'm feeling lucky.